Hey guys, welcome to the new stream. We're doing last predictions with Annie and Martin. So,
Morning,
Annie,
Kylo. Yeah, big up, bro. Good to be back.
pick up.
We'll get down to it. Final group games incoming. Obviously, yeah, I know the rest of the sport is done. So hopefully we'll be joined by Tabs and we'll be able to hear him.
Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
Yeah,
you
brilliant.
can.
Tabs. Yes, man. The chairman is back. Here we are, bro. We made it. We
Good.
made it. Let's just hope that we make it on the pitch as well, bro. That'll be nice. I think we're more or
Yeah.
less there. Yeah, as we
Well,
get
we
in.
are. Yeah, but it's still got to be ticked off.
That's true.
I think they'll win
I
the
know.
2 games. I think they'll win tomorrow and Friday.
I was gonna
Um,
say the same. Kylo can bring up the fixture for tomorrow against Sussex, our final home game at Taunton Brough, aka I'm not gonna say library, but yeah, should be alright. Hopefully the crowd will be up for it as well. Thursday night.
well,
The
it's
last
basically
I was really good.
tomorrow's game is basically the shootout for the home quarter final. Because
Yeah,
both teams should beat their opponents on Friday. Doesn't mean they
should
will.
therefore. Who's Sussex?
Any-
I don't even know who Sussex.
Middlesex. Sussex got Middlesex, but
Oh,
Middlesex have had a little bit of a upturn in form. But
That's what I'm thinking as well. Now,
but they're not. They're playing at home, but they're not playing at home. That's another downside. They're playing at Chelmsford, so
I saw that as
they
well.
won't-
I thought
there'll be
it's
no
really
one
weird.
there, and there'll be no one there. So it'll be a
Very
flat atmosphere. It'll be a flat atmosphere and a flat game, which I think will favour Sussex because they'll just go there and do what they need to do. So
No, that is true. That is true. Just to give a bit of context as well. Obviously, you know this, but the people, well, if anyone is watching, for those who don't know, the reason I say we've got 1 foot in there, it's down to the run rate. Now, for us to miss out, we need to lose by relatively big margins on both games, and also, Gloucester have got to do what they did to Glamorgan against Middlesex, which I would not put past them. However, it's a very tough ask. So that's what I'm saying in it. We've got 1 foot in
and
the
Gloucester have
waters.
only got one hit. They've only got one hit because they finish their fixtures tomorrow.
Yeah,
They don't play Friday, so it's their last game tomorrow. So they've got to get it up above the rate by tomorrow, or rely on both Essex and Somerset to lose both their matches. So they're in the corner really.
we can still lose both games, but it's got to be very narrow. And then Gloucester need like another 100-run win. Or like, say if they win by 80 runs and we lose by 15, 20 on both games, then there's a possibility.
Not really.
Like, personally, I don't see that happening. But,
If Gloucester lose, it's all over, isn't it? If Gloucester lose, it doesn't matter what we do because we've got more points, haven't we? Or have I lost the pot?
Hypothetically, like if they win it, they've got also win by big margin. So if they say win by like,
if they win, they've got to win by a big margin. Yeah, that's true. What I'm saying is, if Gloucester lose, then it's done. So that's also a possibility because they lost to Gloucester, they lost to Middlesex last week, and they're also playing. So Middlesex have a big say in this 2 days. They're playing Gloucester and they're playing Sussex.
And it's funny how they're playing in Chelmsford as well when Essex are involved. So I don't see that.
Yeah, well, yes, that's true. Well, you might get a few Essex members have been given a cheap ticket into the game if they want to go. So that might encourage a few. But
oh yeah, they might have their hopes up on them as well.
If they need to support one of the 2 teams, that might encourage a few to go.
Yeah. It's a weird one. Just speaking of Middlesex, quick. Obviously, He was gonna be on, but I think it's a bit of last minute, late notice. He would probably know. They've been all over the place. They play everywhere. They played at the Oval. Yeah, they played us at the Oval in like 2014, I think it was.
Yeah, this year, it wasn't last minute. This year, it was done before the season started, even before, well before the fix. Back in April time. They picked 2 matches. The first one against Kent, which they got beaten, and this one, just some sort of cost cutting exercise. So they've chosen to do that. They're putting on coaches tomorrow for their fans, but they're still charging for it. So it's caused a lot of upset because Middlesex fans don't want to pay out more to go to a home game they've already paid for in their membership. So, and if you buy a ticket, you buy a ticket to a home game, not a ticket to go and sit on a coach and then go into the game. So it's all a bit of a mess, really. For them,
I'm thinking Gloucester definitely win this game. It's a question of how.
I think Gloucester will be up for it tomorrow. And as we know, we've twice seen them, or once live and once on TV, whatever it was. They can be very good on their day. So, and I think if they raise their game, if they play their A game, they'll win. It's simple as that. So it's up to them.
The thing is, they're going to try and go big, right? Especially if they bat first, because they know, like, we've got to win, like, by a huge margin. So they might be going for that.
Yeah, they've got. Yeah, that's true. They'll probably want to bat they'll probably want the same, as you said earlier, the same equation as the other day against Glamorgan. Yeah. So if they have, they won't need 200, but if they can get a big score, 180 plus, and then boom, and get Middlesex on the back foot early on, which can be done, as we know from at Lords.
Like what we did to them at Lords.
Exactly. So we know they're fragile if they get.
Yeah.
And they've got that. And Middlesex, at the end of the day, although they're playing for the integrity of the competition, they're nothing to play for themselves. So it's.
I don't know if they're safe finish last. That's the other thing. Probably a bit.
Oh, well, Kent lost last night. Kent lost yesterday, so I think they're 3 points ahead of Kent. I think so. They're not going to get the wooden. I think Kent are going to get the wooden spoon. And if we did slip up, that's the game that we go back to. For me, the game at Canterbury. If you lose to the wooden spoon, is in home or away, it doesn't matter where it is. That would be the game for me. That would be the costly one. But even if we slipped up on a home tie, that would be the one. So we should have won that game.
I think we will be fine. I mean, the Gloucester game as well. You could talk about that one.
Yeah, but that was against a better side. Gloucester are a better side than Kent. I'm talking about the standard of opposition. Kent are wooden spoon. Kent are bottom of the division for a reason, because they're not very good. And I know one player had a night out in our match, but even so, we still should have done better in that match. But anyway, that's past tense. Can't finish.
Much better. Hopefully,
it won't come tomorrow.
Sorry, I think we will be fine. I said hopefully it won't come to that equation.
No, that's right. That's just niggling me. That match would niggle me if we didn't do it, because it's a match. If you lose to the bottom side, you don't see. As I say, teams are top and teams are bottom for a reason. Over a qualifying round of games of 14. If it's half a dozen, that's different. But it's 14 games, and it all pans out correctly over those 14 games. And wherever they finish, that's where they deserve to finish. All right, you can say the weather has a part to play. Hampshire, unfortunately, lost 3 games to the weather. 2 of those games were against Middlesex. So there's, they got mitigation to say we were hard done by, as Hampshire saying we were hard done by. But they haven't been very good either.
At their ground, relatively easy, especially with 2 overs spare. Chasing, almost 160.
Yeah, no, that's well. Ironically, I don't know if you picked up on this, but we lost 2 games last year, and those 2 games are the last 2 games this year that we won. Away to Hampshire, and home to Surrey. So if we'd done that last year, we would have had the full house. So that's what and in interviews, listening to the players in this last couple of weeks, since the dodgy period they had against the 2 Gloucester defeats and the like, there's been a different edge to their interviews. It's been it's been better. I mean, listening to Cola Cadmore, I think one of these 2 games, I can't remember which one it was, the one at Taunton, just his interview was just totally different. There's definitely a different determination. All of a sudden, there's a determination that they want to do something that wasn't quite there at the start of the season. I think they were still getting used to the idea of having to do it all again to become champions. And now they've got a chance of making history. There's definitely a different edge to their approach. You can hear it in their interviews. It's different. I can't really explain it, but you just listen to the body language and everything else and that has borne out if you don't beat Surrey and you don't beat Hampshire away easily like they did without having something about you. It puts to bed perhaps even. So I think Sussex are very high there. There's not the surprise. Yeah, they are a surprise package because they were so poor last year. They finished second bottom, third bottom. Lost all their home games bar one. So last year, so they've come. They've got a good coach. I like Farbrace, by the way. They've come good this year, as we did last year. They recruited well, and I like their captain, Mills. Tamar Mills is a good choice as captain.
Yeah.
He's a good leader. He knows the format inside out because it's all he plays. So they've chosen well with their captain. They've chosen well with their recruitment, and the fruits are in their results, and they've done very well. And but they'll be hard to beat, as are we at Taunton generally. So we,
You lost the one game.
Sussex, Surrey, or even the big guns, they still don't like coming to Taunton. So nobody does. I know you say about the atmosphere, but there's just a mindset. There's just a mindset that teams turn up at Taunton and know they're in for a hard game, whatever the situation. So, and Sussex have been no different, but it'll be a good game, I think, and it'll be close. I'm just going to call it our way. I'm just going to call it our way purely because of the attitude that I can feel coming out of the club at the moment. It's just got that extra edge to it again, which was missing in the first half of the qualifying campaign, shall we say? So,
yeah. I don't know if you saw my stream with Ollie. I said that time, one of these two games we probably win, one we lose. That's why I went for a tie on the Surrey game. I was gonna initially say tie on this game as well, but I'm not gonna do that now. I'm obviously
ties are rare. Ties are rare, or very rare. There's been one, I think, in the tournament. I think there's been one in the North group, or was there one in the South? I can't remember. There's been one, I think.
The narrative was different.
Oh, we know there was a tie. Gloucester and Surrey was a tie.
We've had a few.
Yeah.
The thing is, I couldn't call at the time, and we were purely doing one preview on the Surrey game. So I'm like, we have two home games.
Should never be. I don't think they should. Right? Yeah, there should never be a tie. You don't want to go to a game. You want to go home. If you've seen a full match or any creditable match, if you've seen what's termed as a proper match, you want a result. Going away with a tie, might as well have poured a rain all afternoon because you get 1 point for that and you get 1 point for a hard-fought tie. Should come out for a super over these days. That's what the crowd want. That's what you should get. I don't know why there's not this consistency in the tournaments. For me, I'd always have a super over now. I think that needs to add to the. I know that does it, but I think the Blast needs to do it as well. Ties are exciting, but it's 1 point each.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get the same for a waned off match as you do for a hard fought tie right to the last ball.
I don't know, I think if you've tied it, then you take the point. Just how it should be. I mean, look, when me and you have been at live games, there've been moments I told you, like, bro, I'll take a point from this, like Essex game. Prior to the rain, I'd have gone Chelmsford and come back with a tie. Like, that point could be the difference between us.
I see what you mean on that. I'm just see what you mean. I take your point on that.
But I get what you're saying as well.
I just think from a marketing point of view, if everyone needs to go away with a win or a lose.
If it's a knockout game,
in a knockout game, in a T20 game, in a T20
knockout games, I agree. Like if we're at finals day or a quarter, then maybe. But if it's a group game, like you still got bare games. I mean, depending on where you are, that point can get you through. So I think it's all right.
Yeah, and maybe you win me over a bit with your argument. But
if it's a knockout game, I'm with you totally. Like, don't go by a position like, oh, this team finished. I think
if it wasn't for perhaps the rained off game should get nothing, then I'd be happier. I just don't like a rained off match and a tie getting the same reward. That's my point, I think.
But then it's down to the players. And then if they're gonna lose points, then the other teams have an advantage in it, unfair advantage. Because if it rains, it's like, what can you do? So you've just got to take the point, I guess.
True, man. Anyway, they're not going to change it. They're not going to change it.
My stance on the team finishing top, playing fourth. Even then, like if you have a tight.
Oh yeah, we still say that. Yeah, I never
not going position. Even then, but that's for the Blast to do, innit? The organisers.
I'd never waver from that. That really needs to be sorted. It's
won't
just
get
done
into
for men.
here all night. We start on the ACB.
Yeah, we'd never get around that. But it's a shame it's not that way. There's no reward for finishing. Well, there is reward for finishing top of the group, but it's not the reward it should be. The reward of playing the fourth. The reward of playing the fourth team in the North group is still a tough match. You know, you should
like
be
we always
straight
said.
to
Anyway,
final.
second and third is where I think we will finish. Definitely one of the two spots on current standings.
Don't really, I don't really want to finish third if we can help it, because
home.
We don't want to play Lancashire, because it'll be Lancashire away probably.
You think they're winning, no? Against Notts. I last checked scores.
Yeah, but can they win the league? I don't know. Can they win the group? I can't remember. I thought they can only finish second. Yeah, so if they come second and we come third, we're away to Lancashire.
Oh, I see. Yeah. But it's highly unlikely because I think, like you said, tomorrow we're going to win.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's just looking on the dark side. Yeah.
It just occurred to me because they should be favourites to beat Northants as well. Unless Northants beat them, then
Northants might have a day out. You never know with them, but yeah. But anyone at Taunton, we should put away. Anyone. So if we get to second place, then it's in our hands. We don't lose many.
I wouldn't mind that one, given my location. Northants.
Oh, what, away?
It takes an hour for me.
Oh, right, yeah, it's only up the line, isn't it? Milton Keynes and up, just up the other side of Milton Keynes.
It's very tricky. The North group is more interesting than the South one because Derby can qualify all the way from 7th. So you look all that way down because they got game in hand. They got 2 games left. So
yeah, that is a tight group. Yeah,
very tight.
Yeah.
But,
that is the more interesting group from a fans' point of view, from an onlooker's point of view.
So I think our one's more or less set. I don't see Glocks doing it. Hopefully not.
Well, they need a lot of things to go their way, and they've had a few things go their way lately as well. So
it's just a question of order now, like who finishes where.
I mean, they should have won. They should have won the game down. They also should have won down in Hampshire last week when they 31 off 2 overs. 31 off 2 overs. They didn't defend that, and that last ball that was ramped over they put 2 ramp shots in that last over. So they should have won that game. But that's the way it goes. T20 is high risk. That's why. That's another thing that bothers me. I do. What I'm like with numbers. If we win these 2 games, coupled with the 2 we've just won, that means to win the tournament, we will have to have won 7 games on the trot. And that bothers me because it's a very difficult format to win that. Well, I know we did it last year at some point, but to win 7 games in this high risk format, to put a run of games together like that is tough.
What was the thing that you're saying on the numbers?
Well, if we've just won 2 games, right?
Yeah.
We just beat Surrey and Hampshire. I think we're going to beat Sussex and Glamorgan. So that's 4 wins on the trot. To win the tournament, they then got to win another 3. So that would then be 7 wins on the trot to win the tournament. Yeah. And I think that's a big ask. On pure probability of the format.
Yeah. It's if we win, like even if we lose one of these, potentially.
Yeah.
Both.
So almost just for my own satisfaction of the number game. If we win tomorrow, if we lose to Glamorgan, it won't be such a bad thing because in a way, because it just breaks the chain of having to win 7 on the trot to win the tournament. I
think it's fine, given we know what we need to do come September.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Perhaps I'm just being ultra cautious on numbers, but I just think streaks of either losses or wins in this format are not, because of the format, because of the high risk cricket that's played. They're never easy. It's just not. Streaks of wins aren't very often. They're rare. That many anyway. 7.
My thing was just get to the quarters when we had that streak, that mad streak, right, of Gloucester home and away. in succession as well, because Chelmsford got rained out. So I was like, just get to a quarter. We got one.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. That's what I'm saying. That was a dodgy spell when the things were. And tomorrow they've got to surely, having had, what was it last Sunday? It was Sunday at Hampshire. They've got to play the strongest side. There's no excuse this week. There's been no cricket since Sunday.
I think they will. Yeah.
Well, I think they've got to. If they want to rest players on Friday, if they win, of course. If they win and they want to rest a few, that's fine with me. But let's play. If we're playing the best, or the best team in the league, or one of the best, let's put the best side out we can. Because as we know, it can come back to bite you if you don't do that.
It'll be more for tomorrow. I think that's when they're gonna go all out. And then Glamorgan,
I think so.
Maybe
I think so. I think you'll see all the big guns out tomorrow.
But it remains to be seen.
I don't know if Smeed is fit. I think they'll stick. They'll stick with Thomas.
So I'm gonna say I'll probably call it a 10-run win tomorrow against Sussex if we bat first. Probably looking at 190, I'd say. The reason I'm not going 200 is because their bowling looks quite good and tight.
The bowling is quite good, and with, as I say,
we
Mills,
well, which
Mills,
I think we hope we should.
Mills will know what to do. He's commentated because he's a commentator.
Should be able to restrict them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think either way they'll chase it down or they'll score enough runs on the board. I think I'd prefer in this match.
Oh, Oslo, you mean?
Yeah, I think to bat first would be.
In this case.
Going to be nice weather, nice day. No, so there's no excuse tomorrow. Everything's in there, in cricket's favour. So
we do quite well on Thursdays. I mean, given I went for the next game on a Thursday as well, bro, for that quarter.
Right, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think most games we played at home on Thursday, we've ended up winning.
Right,
beat
okay.
Kent as well on Thursday, I think.
I wouldn't know.
When we had the Ross, I think that might have been a Thursday night, if memory serves me correct. But
I can't remember.
Whether.
I can't remember.
So yeah, I think we'll get over the line. I think.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, and then we'll just see how it all falls, and then there's time then to. There's time to. We've got 6 weeks to sort out if they want to. See, they can't get any more overseas players in now because if you no teams can. They can't. You can't. I don't think you can bring an overseas player in for the quarterfinals onwards. You've got to play them in the group. We brought Sodi in last year, and he played in the last group matches.
Oh, damn!
I don't think you can. I don't think you can bring a brand new contracted overseas player in to start in the quarterfinals that he's not played for you before in the tournament that season.
If we got him tomorrow, or Friday, you think it can happen? Or?
Well, yeah. If you want to bring someone in tomorrow or Friday, then that may be tick the box. But I'm sure I might be wrong. But I'm sure I read somewhere that any overseas player has to have played in the group stage to be able to play in the knockout stages.
I think you're right.
I'm not saying how many group stages, but he has to be signed before the end of the group stages. So we've got to go with what we've got now, as all the other teams have. So
I think if Pretorius plays, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, if he can come back, if he's gonna, I don't know what he's gonna do in the One Day Cup. If he's staying or going, I don't know. Because if he stays for the season, then just carry him on because he's playing fine.
Yeah, I'd take him now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would negotiate him certainly coming back for the knockouts. If the disaster doesn't happen in the next 2 days, yeah, get him in the knockout squad.
So it looks like based on our predictions so far, Glamorgan should be an easy win, I'm going to say, without getting too ahead.
You never know with them. I mean, they beat Essex the other week, and then they go and get stuff, then they win again, then they go and get stuff. You don't know what Glamorgan are going to do. And they still got some dangerous players. They've got an Aussie Test player in the lineup, Marcus Labuschagne. So they've got players
because we could lose to Glam and end up third.
They've got players that can hurt you. For sure. Their bowling's not very good. That's where we might cash in. Their batting is better than their bowling. They've got some good destructive batsmen, but their bowling's not is not up to. It's just the reason why they're down the bottom of the group.
If Sussex win actually on their last game and we lose to Glam, despite beating Sussex, we'll still finish third. I don't see us losing to Glam. I don't. So that's what I'm thinking. We'll get the home quarter. We should win both games. I think I'm
We
gonna
should
put
win
it
both
off.
games. Yeah.
I think we go up
We
there.
should win it.
Cardiff,
We
we
should
beat
beat
them. It runs.
We should beat Sussex because it's simply a home game, and we do pretty well.
And I
And
think on
Glamorgan.
paper we're a bit better as well.
It depends what mood Glamorgan are in as well, what they really want to do for the last game.
I think we should go up and get back-to-back games as well.
We don't lose to Glamorgan very often, but then we don't lose to Gloucester very often. We did twice, so yes,
yeah. I think so. If we bat first in Cardiff, just coming to Friday's game.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna say if we bat first, probably get about 200 up there. It's not a bad pitch.
No, it's quite. There's got some short boundaries straight there. I've been there a few times. The short boundaries. There's one into the river and one back over there towards the town, and they're very short, straight boundaries. So, yeah, but people like Banton and that would like those boundaries. Yeah, so if they bat first, they should get 200 against their bowling and against the dynamics of the ground. It should be a 200 plus total if it's decent weather and decent conditions, and that'll be too much. And if we can get amongst them batsmen early, you've got to get Labuschagne out because he's good. I got more than one good batsman.
How many runs are you saying if we bat first?
Oh, if we bat first, 208.
Okay, I'm like 205, 200-ish.
And if they bat first, 172, something like that.
Accurate there. I'm just giving estimates. I'll say like 160s, and obviously we'd probably chase that with like 2 to 3 overs.
I'll say just in the between 200 and 210 if we bat first, and
same
around 170 if Glamorgan bat first. Yeah.
Okay, I'm saying 160.
Okay.
We both agree like 40 odd run win almost.
I can't really remember what the scoring's been at Cardiff because they've been so erratic. It's difficult to work out what scores. You know, one minute they're being rolled over for 80 odd, that's minute they're getting. But last night they scored at 10 and over and beat Kent, so you just don't know.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, so they got 100. It was a reduced game. They got 145 off 13 overs. So there you go. You just don't know what if they carried that on for another 7 overs, they'd be over 200. So.
We're saying same for Sussex as well. Like we said, 10 runs if we bat first, and then if we bat second.
If we bat first, yeah, well, it'll be a tight game either way. If we bat first, wrap around the 190 mark, and 10 to 15 runs. It should be. We should have enough in the bank by that much.
And if we bat second, last win in the last over.
Yeah, it depends on the start. We've had 2 good starts in the last 2 matches, and that shows what you can do. Even against Surrey, and we put them away with their stars back. I say stars back, but they had their T20 players back. So it doesn't matter it doesn't matter how good the bowling is in a way in T20. If you get a good start, and a good start is not losing wickets in the power play, then you're home and hosed almost. Not every time, but it gives you a really good platform. So for me, if we can restrict them to say 160, 170. It all depends on the start. It won't be a squeaky game if we can get 60 on the power play or 50 to 60 on the power play. Like we've been doing the last 2 matches.
We got 60 at Hams.
I think we did. Yeah. And Thomas has come in and done well in place of Smeed.
He has.
Thomas has come in and done well.
Replacement.
Yeah, I didn't realise he was that good. That's just a shame for Smeed. I don't like it. I don't know what would happen if he's fit. It'd be an interesting call for the management, but
his brother
probably the man with the shirt probably deserves to stay in. That's the way it usually works. So Thomas,
I think it's gonna be an interesting one come the quarters, assuming we get there, which we should. That'll be good.
Almost certainly everybody be fit by then because it's 6 weeks away. So Smeed would be fit. So it'd be interesting.
And then I think it's more of like a form.
I think they'll go for Smeed because of his experience.
Yeah, I think so as well.
It'll be easier to play Smeed. It would be easier to play Smeed in the quarterfinals than it would be tomorrow night, for instance, because you've got 6 weeks, take a breath from it, and you can reset and say, well, we're going to play our experienced players in the quarterfinal. And it's easy. It'd be easy.
As well.
Pardon?
It could depend on the one-day cup. Maybe, but
could depend on the one-day cup. Yeah, it could depend on if he plays well. Yeah, there's that to showcase themselves. Yeah, or certainly Thomas. Yeah, for sure. That's a good point. Play a number of games between them.
But let's see.
Yeah, so tomorrow night will be a squeaky game either way. Pardon?
Yeah, bro. Looks like a home quarter then in Taunton, which.
Well, that's what we'll go with, but it's not going to be plain sailing. It never is with our lot, with Somerset. But as you know,
exactly. Well. You know what, bro? You've hit the nail right on the head. It's just what we do. I don't know why, but let's see. But as long as we do not get slapped up and Gloucester don't do a match.
Well, as I say, I think the attitude has just changed slightly. The mindset's all just a bit different all of a sudden, for the better. Not that it was poor, but it was just lacking a bit of edge in the first games, I thought, understandably. I mean, we let 3 190 scores drift past us. 2 Gloucester 190s and a Kent 190. That wasn't the team that wasn't the team from last season. That was poor. I mean, no. So I think they've sharpened up, and Gregory's a good captain. I like. He's grown as captain since we know from a few early issues with him, but since he was. So captain's in good shape. Team's in good shape. Let's go and do it.
I'm going to end with the narrative. Once we get to a quarter from September, bro, it's like 3 games to immortality. I say immortality because we are on the verge of doing
I'll just counter that. I agree with you, but my devil's advocate statement would be: there's a reason why no team has won this competition twice in a row.
Yeah.
And the reason is it's nigh on impossible. Exactly, it's nigh on impossible.
Hence immortality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, after last season, winning all those matches and in the manner they won them, I still say didn't get enough recognition, but that's another story for another day. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, I think, this week. And as you say, we'll see what September brings.
Up the set.
I'll let you wrap it up then. I'll let you wrap it up. Thank you for having me on.
We'll pop some ciders on. Cheers to Kylo for hosting this stream. Big up Tabzzz as well. And
thank you.
Let's get it done. And anything, shout out Tabzzz before you bounce, or all good?
I'm fine. No, go with it. I'm fine. No, nothing to shout out. You know what I'm like. I'm happy. I'll be a guest at any time.
Yeah. And look out for the upcoming streams that are
we'll do.
Follow soon. And Arnie J, Football for Life show. Up the set. And
see you later. See you next time.
Cool Tabzzz in a bit.